I still remember the moment the child's laughter echoed through the empty hallway, soft and playful at first, then painfully clear, far too real for a place where no children had lived for decades. And in that instant, my body went cold because I knew we were completely alone inside the abandoned Twin Bridges orphanage. Yet that sound felt close, personal, almost welcoming, and deeply wrong. I had been part of a paranormal investigation team for years by then, traveling across the country to places most people avoided, filming what could not be explained. And in late 2016, we received a tip that changed everything. A report of children's voices captured during a lockdown at Twin Bridges Orphanage in Montana, a massive brick structure that had stood silent since the 1960s, but once housed hundreds of children starting in 1894. The history alone was disturbing, with records showing over 100 documented deaths caused by disease, accidents, and neglect, and darker rumors of abuse whispered by former residents who spoke of brutal punishments, beatings for bedwetting, isolation in pitch-black rooms, and caretakers who ruled through fear. The current owner told us she heard footsteps in empty halls, saw shadows moving between rooms, and often heard children laughing or singing when no one else was there. And when we interviewed a former orphan in his 70s, his voice trembled as he described nights filled with crying, children disappearing without explanation, and a matron who locked kids in the attic for days. And by the time he finished speaking, the orphanage no longer felt like a building. It felt like a container for pain that never found peace. We arrived that afternoon under a dull gray sky, the structure looming over us with boarded windows and vines crawling up its walls. And as Zach led the team inside with Aaron and Billy while I handled tech, the air felt thick and stale, heavy with dust and decay. We set up cameras, digital recorders, and motion sensors throughout the building, focusing on hotspots like the dormitories, the basement tunnel, and the old gym with its drained pool. And as night fell and the doors were locked behind us, the outside world disappeared. The lockdown began quietly, almost too quietly, and Billy and I made our way to the gymnasium where the pool sat like a dark concrete grave filled with stagnant water reflecting our flashlight beams like black glass. And we set up a spirit box and recorder, asking simple questions into the darkness, waiting, listening, feeling that creeping sensation of being watched, the kind that settles at the back of your neck. We moved next into the underground tunnel, a narrow passage once used for laundry, now cold and cluttered with debris. And during an EVP session, we asked if any children were there, if they wanted to play. And while we heard nothing in the moment, the atmosphere shifted, the air growing heavier. And that was when the first laugh echoed down the tunnel, low and playful, like a child hiding during a game. Billy froze and looked at me, whispering if I heard it, and I nodded, my heart racing, because there was no mistaking it. It was a child's giggle, joyful yet completely out of place. As the night went on, the laughter followed us, growing louder and closer, reappearing in the dormitory where rusted bed frames lined the room like skeletons, echoing from empty spaces we searched with cameras rolling. And in the attic, known for punishing children, the giggles multiplied, overlapping as if several kids were gathered just out of sight. A motion sensor tripped. A ball we placed on the floor rolled slowly toward us and stopped at my feet, and I felt a light tug on my sleeve, gentle, like a small hand brushing past, while Billy captured a strange light anomaly darting between us, but the laughter never stopped. We were drawn back to the pool area, and as we stood at the edge asking about rumored drownings, the laughter erupted from the water itself, loud, bubbling, surrounding us, sounding like multiple children splashing and playing. And Billy swore he heard words hidden in the sound, whispering, "Come play," as ripples formed across the water with no visible cause. Panic set in as we backed away, the sound filling the room until it felt suffocating, and then suddenly it stopped, leaving behind a silence so heavy it rang in my ears. We reviewed the footage right there, shaken, watching ourselves react to empty space while the laughter played back clearly on audio, crisp and undeniable with no visible source. At dawn, we ended the lockdown and drove away in silence, the orphanage shrinking behind us. And even now, I wonder if those voices were echoes of stolen childhoods or something darker pretending to be them. Because I have investigated many haunted places since, but that laughter has never left me. And on quiet nights, when the wind moves just right, I swear I can still hear a faint giggle calling from the past.
Thank you for watching. Like this video, comment what scared you most, and subscribe to stay with us.